2026 meeting of the Eastern Union Township Board of Supervisors to order. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Chairperson, Mr. Mooney, present. Vice Chairwoman, Mrs. Natchison. Supervisor, Mrs. Kariba.
Present.
Treasurer, Mr. Gazik.
Present.
Secretary, Ms. Turpak.
I'm here.
Solicitor, Mr. Favreau.
Here.
Engineer, Mr. Yanuzzi. Here. That's all. Zoning Officer, Mr. Kurtz.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, I'll open the floor to public participation on agenda and non-agenda items. Hearing none,
Question, I got a question.
please state your name for the record.
Bob Gabori, 877 Center Street, Shepton. Could you guys post, so you don't keep reading the same baloney about the roads that were posted with the weight limit on why it's to keep the heavy vehicles off? I know that, common sense should tell people that, but not if you read the comments. You know that and I know that.
Well, you know how social media is.
Correct. But it's full.
Some people are keyboard warriors on social media.
Absolutely.
Stop
the roads
getting
are
your news from social media.
The roads were posted and local people can operate on. You're not penalizing the local people, it's the
Right.
people you don't want tractor trailers on them as a drive-through. It's a shortcut.
And we're here to protect the infrastructure so that the taxpayers
Absolutely.
don't have to bear the burden of paving the road because it's destroyed by somebody's personal interest.
Right. But it's just, I mean, you read it, I just can't believe how stupid people could be. Common sense would tell you that.
We don't pay much attention to social media.
That's the only one.
Thank you. Next, I'll ask the board for an approval of the May 2026 regular meeting minutes as printed and also as circulated by email.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mumi, aye. Danchison,
Aye.
Kariba,
Aye.
motion carries. Next, we'll move into the treasurer's report. Mr. Geisler.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The beginning balance as of May 1st, 2026 in the general fund was $150,065.86. We took in $171,506.95. Paid $33,850.31 in bills, $22,042.94 in payroll, and ended as of May 31st with $265,679.56. In the light fund, started with $20,077.35, took in $19,600.59, paid $2,935.19, ended with $36,742.75. Fire fund started with $15,992.06, took in $19,600.42, paid $323.44, ended with $35,269.04. Zoning fund started with $79,700.98, took in $12,114.83 in permits and fees, paid $10,276.41 in expenses, ended with $81,539.40. The local service tax fund started with $54,817.13, ended with $20,954.47, ended with $75,771.60. And the state fund started with $74,558.03. I got $3.13 in interest, paid $1,929.64 on the equipment payment, ended with $72,631.52. In the recreation fund, we got 2 cents in interest and ended with $1,948.05. Fire escrow, $549.50, no activity. And in our PIB account, $100 and no activity. For our spring cleanup we collected $2,080 in fees And it's not on here because the dumpster company just emailed me their invoices like this morning, but their invoices are about, $3,000, I mean, $3,500 in costs. So,
It's better than last year.
right? Well, last year I remember they sent them really late, and then we got them, and then we were going back and forth with them trying to figure out. So they sent it on time pretty much this year, so that's good. But we're gonna have those costs, so it's about half and half. The township picks up half, and the $20 was half for the fee. And then in terms of the bills to be paid, we just got that list. In terms of any out of the ordinary, not so much. Some engineering bills, some medical bills for the repairs on the equipment. Some road stuff, HEK patching materials, things like that. In terms of receipts, this is our best month in May for our receipts. Our real estate taxes are probably 85% collected. Earned income taxes 50% collected. So we're definitely at probably our best financial point this year that we will be in all year. The rest is kind of, we have to, this is pretty much the money that we have to spend and to do with. We won't have this much, we won't have enough revenues coming in again until next year when taxes come in. Most people pay our taxes in discount, which is really nice. We have a good tax base. So other than that, unless anybody has any specific questions, that's all my commentary.
Mike, what's the Ron Troy asphalt paving for 4,500?
The
That was-
playground. Use the playground.
Yeah,
The parking lot, that's what I...
yeah. And then Cheslock did the painting for it, the line painting. So,
And what about those district court charges? I don't understand what that means, the violation filing fees? What is
yeah,
that?
so in order to enforce the code violations, you have to file an action in small claims court, the magistrate. So in order to file a claim with the magistrate, you have to pay the filing fee. So that's what those are. So we did 3 or 4 violations. Richie's been working hard.
Mike, we're gonna hold off on the David Popiat bill.
The sewer
Okay.
enforcement bill,
Sewer.
just, we have to review that in a little more detail.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's all.
I'll ask the board for a motion to approve the May 2026 Treasurer's Report and presented bill for payment other than the David Popiat bill until it's reviewed.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mumi, aye. Danchison,
Aye.
Kariva,
I'm going to abstain.
motion carries. Next, we'll move into the engineer's report. Mr. Yanezi.
Hello, good evening. Few items on my agenda for tonight. The zoning map update. I met with the committee last week, and basically we talked about different ways to promote economic development within the township, increase employment opportunities and tax-based diversification with the zoning map update. So we're going to come up with some ideas and present them at an upcoming meeting. So right now I have nothing else to discuss besides that. Next item is Market Street drainage update. I do have a map that I can review with Lewis and whoever else is going to help out with that and go over that with
Let's
them.
let's pick a week, in the next couple of weeks. We'll get together.
Yeah, so basically it's just 15-inch pipe with some inlets to go along that one section that we talked about. Okay, so number 5, authorized banish for the planning and design of the township complex from the LSA ground of $250,000. At this point, I'm thinking maybe we should table that until we kind of come up with some concrete ideas on how we want to proceed with that. So I think it would be, maybe we should address that at the next meeting, okay? Because there's some different ideas of potentially expansion of the township building, potentially doing something with the garage or the salt shed, or planning for the land, or maybe some else in the future in the back, so I think we have to kind of plan that out and determine how we want to use this funding and future funding, okay? So, with that, they got a table it or just let it die and we'll just put it back on next meeting?
I would just table. It's already on there. Just table, and if you wanted to carry to next meeting, fine. Put it back on.
I'll ask the board for a motion to table the planning and design for the township complex to the LSA grant until
I'll make
next
the
meeting.
motion.
Sorry. I'll second it. On the question, Mooney? Aye. Danchison?
Aye.
Grieva?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, then the next item is number 6, for the planning and design and the PennDOT highway occupancy permit for the streetscape on SR 924 for the CFA multimodal LSA grant of $350,000. We have our estimate for our fee would be about $40,000. It's going to be more complicated than just like a simple paving project because we have to deal with PennDOT and they can come up with, the review could be somewhat simple or the review could be somewhat complex. Until they see it, it's really hard to determine. But at this point, from discussions with the supervisors, it appears as though they would want to start either at the playground or at the post office, but I was thinking we would start at the low point and then we can work our way back up and improve any drainage as we work our way up from.
Yeah, personally, I think, connecting the post office to the new park, to the playground, I think is probably the best bang for the buck, in my opinion.
Yeah, that sounds good, yeah.
When you get the PennDOT HOP, will they look at the entire town for our continued phases, or do they have to come out every time we do it?
Pretty much every time. We're going to try to design as much as we can, but usually like a PennDOT HOP, once you get it, you have to build it within about a year. However, you could always ask for an extension based on funding, based on issues from that standpoint. So we will look at laying out as much as we can, but then there could be kind of more issues with PennDOT, and we don't want to hold up like the first phase because of having to deal with issues on the second phase of what we're not really doing.
We just want to get as much
Correct. We want to.
pavement as we can.
Yeah, and I have to discuss it with the supervisors and show you, what some of our ideas are before we like really go deep into design, okay? And show you some other examples of what we did in other municipalities, okay?
We want it to look like Cunningham.
Yeah,
That's what we want it
yeah,
to
okay, that's our job, so we
With the
can,
light, with the
With the
street
light.
lights.
we can do the street lights and the grass strip like Cunningham and have a nice little area there, so, for sure. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
So I'll ask the board for a motion to authorize Benish for planning, design, and the PennDOT highway occupancy permit for the streetscape project on State Route 924, funded through the CFA multimodal LSA grant of $350,000. The Benish contract is $40,000. I'll ask the board for a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mooney? Aye. Danchison?
Aye.
Grieva?
I'm gonna say no. I think it's just gonna, in the future, cost the township just way too much money.
From grant funding.
It just, grant never pay for everything.
Dominic, do you have anything else?
Nope, nothing.
Thank you, Dominic. Next, we'll move into the solicitor's report, Mr. Fowler.
So first on the list is, our office has been drafting an updated pave, cut, and street excavation ordinance. We're working with the engineer to get updated specifications as to how the road is to be repaired once it's cut under this ordinance. Once we get those specifications, we'll finalize the draft and get it ready for advertising. So at this point, we're asking for a motion to authorize us to advertise that once it's completed.
need to, I mean, you don't have to prepare as of the final draft is yet, so we don't need a motion to advertise at this point.
Do you want to just make a motion to advertise, so when he has it done, he can circulate it, and then we can advertise?
That's the plan, and this
We'll
will
be
be
done
done
before
before.
next meeting then. so.
Why don't we table it till he has a,
Will it be done at the next meeting?
I was told either July or be ready for July.
The sooner the better, because we're inundated with paved cut applications, I
Yeah.
think, so.
Yeah, so let's make a motion to advertise it, and then you guys can circulate it to all of us before.
Absolutely.
I'll ask the board for a motion to advertise the updated paved.
say that one more time.
Excuse me,
Where's the motion?
I'm reading.
I know, but do we get to see it all? What was the last sentence?
Well, yeah, because we have to, yeah, let's get, this is just advertising when it's prepared, so he's gonna circulate it via email.
Okay.
Yes, before it gets advertised, it will be circulated to all the supervisors before it
All
gets
right,
advertised.
thank you.
This is just to expedite the process so that we could potentially act on it in July instead of waiting till August.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, code will explain more, but they're inundated with requests for pavement cuts for utility pole installation, so. I'll ask the board for a motion to advertise updated paved cut and street excavation ordinance and any updated associated fees.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it on the question. Mumi, aye. Danchison,
Aye.
Riva,
Aye.
motion carries.
Next, we're seeking a motion to adopt ordinance 6826-001 to rename Green Mountain Road, it's currently Industrial Park, to Representative Dane Watrow Boulevard effective 1/1/2027, and East Elm Street to Progress Ave, with a no parking zone on both sides of Progress Ave. The ordinance is drafted, it's been advertised as required by the MPC, and it's ready for adoption if you so wish.
This is exciting.
Yes.
So I'll anxiously ask the board for a motion to adopt ordinance 6-8-2026-001 to rename Green Mountain Road and Industrial Park to Representative Dane Watrow Boulevard, effective 1/1/27, and East Elm Street to Progress Avenue, with no parking zones on both sides of Progress Avenue.
Yeah, you can ask for public comment.
Is there any public comment?
For the renaming of the.
Renaming of
The renaming of the street, yes.
Just out of pure curiosity, Mr. Watrow, who I like a great deal, has only been in office 4 years. What about Tim Holden, who served us for 20 years? He might be the prettiest guy at the table now, but there are guys that were here before him that earned that. Just a thought.
I agree.
And I like Watrow, I voted for him, that's not the problem. I think these are things you earn. And if you're gonna name a road after me, wait till I'm goddamn dead.
Do you want me to notate it like that in the minutes?
What?
Do you want me to notate it?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, it's a human comment.
Any other comments?
I'd like to, that George has a good idea, and you know, Dane, he's great, and he got us a lot of grants and everything else, but Tim was a really good guy. And Tim got kind of screwed over by redistricting his district. The guy was in a Republican district, and he was a Democrat, and he kept winning. And that would be a good idea to think about,
Pick a street.
that street. Make it Tim Holden Boulevard.
There's a large selection, Senator James Rhodes, Commissioner Frank McAndrews. You know,
I mean, we can't rename all the streets, that's for sure. It was bad enough with 911, with the streets that are boulevards and everything else.
Mr. Mummy, it's something you must earn in politics. It can't be a gift.
I don't think it's a gift. I think he's earned it with his dedication to his township and the close to $1 million that he's brought in since my administration took office. I agree. I have great respect for James Rhodes. I have great respect for Tim Holden. There's many more county commissioners that have earned respect, and I agree with that. This was not, the purpose of this was not to slight anyone
It might be a generational gap. We're in our 70s, you guys aren't.
I don't see it.
Well, I'm close to 70 and I say Dean Watrow. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I know I'm too long.
I think we should, I just have a comment. We just finally got the Green Mountain roads, that the tractor trailers aren't down in our fields turning around. I mean, how easy is it gonna be for everybody's GPS to be changing that road name again up there?
Well, that's why we did it effective 1/1/27, so there's a 6-month buffer for that to happen. But I don't,
And they put in, so then like the GPS people have time to change everything on the
yeah,
maps.
that's why we did that, but I don't think it's fixed, to your point. I think it's as bad now as it's been ever, and I mean, Herbert is inundated with tractor
Remember,
trailers.
it's inundated with it because you have people, the dispatchers that program those GPSs for those drivers. If the left turn was Green Mountain Road and the right turn was over a cliff, whatever that GPS says, that's exactly where they go. They're hung up on that cemetery turn constantly because they're getting off at the West Hazelton exit, follow Tom Hicken Road. If they don't go to Back Western Road, they go through Fern Glen up and over the mountain, and then they gotta make the turn going up the hill to go to Green Mountain Road. Because that's what GPS is sending them. And then they're stuck and traffic's tied up constantly. We don't have them that much here as we used to, but the same thing's gonna happen when the bridges are getting done. I mean, that's the reason for the 5-ton on Feeneyville Road, to keep the trucks off it, and it's gonna happen. Because they're gonna come in, from the south, they're coming up north, they get off in Frackville. And they're coming up through here to go to Green Mountain Road up here. Just whatever that GPS says is where they're going. And then how many of them can't read English? The signs are in English only.
Yes.
I drove tractor trailers and
Please state your
semi-truck.
name.
I'm Tyler Rosales, whatever, Shadow. I drove tractor trailer and semi-trucks all the way up past Easton, all the way up past Scranton, Pittston. When they renamed it up there to President Biden Expressway or whatever, it was active instantaneously on Google Maps. And all the trucks that have fleet GPS, the dispatchers, or whether they're driving for Amazon or Wegmans or a Dewey Pile, those GPS systems, they're not like when you buy it like Walmart. They're cellular service through like AT&T or T-Mobile. They're instantaneously, they're always updated. So it is what it is. And on both, Mr. Holden and Mr. Watrow, both of them are American War veterans. As a Marine Corps veteran myself, either one of them would be a great choice. If it came down to a vote, I'd vote for Mr. Watrow. I think both of them did exemplary service to this country, and I respect both of them, so.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Mary Penny. I just have a thought. If you're going to rename roads and you're thinking about other people you'd like to rename roads for, maybe establish a township policy before you, like qualifications to have something named after you. We have a township qualification that you have to do X, Y, and Z to earn that. Not just willy-nilly say, Dean Watrow, who I like very, very much and think is doing an excellent job, help us get $1 million, we're going to name a road after him. And then the next time he moves on and he becomes our next state senator or whatever, you have someone else that gets you $1 million, are we going to name a road after them? I mean, there needs to be a policy in place on how you do it. You need structure to have a foundation for the reason you make the decision.
Any other comments? I'll ask the board for a motion to adopt ordinance 6-8-2026-001.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mumi, aye. Danchison,
Aye.
Kariba.
I'm gonna say no, because I think the residents came up with a couple of good comments.
Motion carries.
Next is a motion to amend and advertise the noise ordinance. So I understand that there are some amendments that the board may wish to make to the current 2023 noise ordinance. And I welcome the discussion about that.
one complaint that I've fielded quite a few times is that music playing too loud at night. I think the current ordinance says 11 o'clock, which residents have voiced is kind of late. Perhaps we want to cut that to 10 o'clock, which is a little bit more reasonable in my opinion. Have either of you heard
Construction.
of construction noise too? Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, the current ordinance says that you can work until 9 o'clock at night. I think that's too late.
Yeah, construction 9 PM to 7 AM. It's prohibited.
It is kind of late.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from the board?
I think 7 o'clock is reasonable for construction in the summertime. You know, it's late, 9 o'clock. I don't know. What does it state now, Nate? It states that you can work every day, right?
Yes.
Construction is 9. I'm pretty sure music is 11. Am I correct in saying that?
See, construction.
Bands and music.
Loudspeaker, public for us. Radios, musical instruments. It doesn't put a specific time limit on radios, tape players, television sets, musical instruments, electronic amplifications, equipment. I believe playing music would fall into that category. It says any time of the day in such a manner from any sources to create a noise disturbance across the property lines. But it doesn't have a time limit like many other sections. Like yelling and shouting has a time limit from the streets between 10 PM and 7 AM. Where it may be disturbing to others.
Where's the music?
And it's not
Noise.
permitted anytime it's a nuisance is pretty much what it says.
Yes. But it doesn't have specific hours. You can add that if you want.
I mean,
I think we made it at later times because of like the Monfort and we can't tell them 9 o'clock. If they're having something out at the pool or, I mean, I don't know. I don't think people listen to ordinances anyhow. If they're gonna have a picnic, they're gonna have it. I mean, are we getting that many complaints?
fair enough. You've got something. I think you want to balance, I think, recreation with quality of life, in my opinion.
If it's occasional, people have family coming in and you have a party out in your backyard, that's one thing. But when it's weekend after weekend after weekend, and you're getting the same
Becomes a
complaints,
nuisance.
yeah.
Is this something that we want to maybe discuss?
Yeah, you can.
Via email and come back to it? I'll ask the board for a motion to table the amendment and advertisement to the noise ordinance.
Make a motion.
For a second.
I'll second it.
On the question, Mumi, aye. Atchison, Kariva,
Aye.
motion carries.
So the next thing is a review of the Good versus East Union Township decision. So Jonathan Good had received a notice of violation for using his property without permits for the particular uses. He filed a appeal to the zoning hearing board. The zoning hearing board upheld the violations, and then he filed a complaint with the Court of Common Pleas, a land use appeal. We defended along with the zoning hearing board, and the court upheld the zoning hearing board's decision upholding the notice of the violation, and in some sense any use that you seek to institute at your property requires a permit before you can have that use. That's it.
Thank you. Next, we'll move into the road report. Mrs. Danchison.
Everybody can see what the road guys are out doing. I mean, I think the township looks incredible. Lewis and Victor, who started last month, they're doing an excellent job, and I get a lot of calls, so we try to send them out as we get the calls coming in. That's it.
You're doing a great job.
I have a question.
Are we gonna start using our mower, the tractor mower to do the roads? People have asked me,
Where is it at?
well, not much grass was cut at all. Around my road, I know, like down Green Mountain Road.
All the roads have been, somebody just called me the other day and said, I've never seen Pole Road look as good as it
And I've
has.
seen,
They were on Phoebe Hill for 2 weeks last week.
they were using that zero turn. You can't use a zero turn lawnmower to do the side of the road. You can't put it on the banks at all. I mean, that zero turn lawnmower is gonna be ruined.
Well, I don't think we go that far from the bank. I mean, they're just getting it.
You know, they did pretty good with that. I mean, we have it. That's what I'm just saying, are we gonna use that mower?
Yeah, we have, in the past, yeah. It works well. And do you have anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Kurtz, should the zoning report?
Yes, sir. All right, so this past month, we had 6 total UCC building permit applications received. There was 1 code review memo sent out this past month, and 5 UCC permits were issued. As for zoning, we had 7 total zoning permit applications received. 1 zoning permit application was denied. Only 1 permit was issued, and there is currently 4 zoning permit applications under review. And at this time, there are currently 8 open zoning violations in the community. And we are working towards a zoning hearing board meeting that's planned for July now. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Serpak, do you have the code report?
I do. There were 4 high grass complaints, 1 property maintenance complaint for a rundown shed, 1 civil charges filed, settled 1 grass complaint, and condemned 1 home due to the recent fire. That is it.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question, Kyle. It was in my neighborhood that awful fire was, and their house is just gone. I don't know them, I don't even know how many people live there, but I stopped the next day to give them a gift, and they were there and they were asking me questions about the township, about boarding up their house and everything, so I called our code officer with no answer. I left a message, and I stayed there with the people for quite a while, but he never called me back, and he still didn't call me back.
Right, so remember when I
I know, but Carl, if
emailed
you're there
you.
with people that just lost a house, you're trying to get rules for them, I don't know why they couldn't have just called another supervisor.
Well, I'm sure he could have, but maybe he wasn't available when you called him, but he did relay to me, he had questions that I asked you that you didn't know the answer to, about the time frame for tearing down the property. Did you get any of that information?
I haven't even seen him ever since.
So why don't we put the people, the homeowners in contact with the code officer, that would probably be the best scenario.
I haven't seen them there at all, I don't know what they, I don't know if they will see it, but I'm sure their insurance company will take care of it. Insurance company usually calls to see what the time is.
Well, there's an ordinance that certain money has to come in escrow and stuff too, there's a whole process.
I was really wishing, when I was standing there with the people, I was wishing I could have got them an answer. Okay, thank you.
Next, we'll move into old business. Number 11, discussion on pave or chip and seal on West Pine Street and Hemlock Street.
We're just gonna keep that on there until we Get a
Okay.
plan after market, yeah.
We didn't meet about it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, yes.
So I'll just put it next month.
Yes.
I think we're also going to do the same with the discussion on the purchase of a salt spreader.
Yeah.
Are you gonna table that?
Yeah, yeah, we need to address it sooner than later, but who wants to think about snow right now?
Right, okay.
So will you put it on the agenda for next meeting, and we'll review the quotes at that point and make a decision. So moving along, we'll move into new business. Number 13, a motion to rebid plans for drainage and paving on Second Boulevard in Brandonville. Dominic, I'm going to ask you just to explain this a little bit. We were hoping for some CDBG money from the county, but there seems to be a hiccup.
Well, the CDBG money hasn't been allocated yet from the federal government to the counties. So there is no new money yet for this year, and usually that comes out, you'll know when it comes out. It could come out in June, it could come out in July, it could come out in August, so that's usually what ends up happening. So I have a phone call into them. They did reply via email. They're going to give me some more answers later this week, which then I'll pass on. Okay? So at this point, I believe it's best to just hold tight until we see if that $86,000 comes through. If not, we'll just, we can move forward next month.
Any comments or questions from the board?
I feel like we're getting jerked around by the county. They want us to go out and do the financial survey again for the third time.
Of the same homes.
The same homes, the same people, and people are not happy when you knock on their door and ask them how much money they make. People don't want you asking those kinds of questions. And we did it now twice, 2 summers in a row. I mean, last year we were out for days. We made sure we got everybody. I think we should just rebid the whole project and we could do it ourselves. We could do the drainage and pave the road. It's like 900 feet that we didn't complete when we did the whole town. That's my opinion. I mean, we put four drain boxes on Old Mill Road, and that's like 2,100 feet or something like that. So if we did 4 on Second Boulevard, 4, and new pipe, why can't we just rebid it?
That job, if I remember, that came in around $250,000, that section.
But we were going overboard with.
We were going up the road. If we come back on the drainage, you'll save, I'm going to say, in the neighborhood of $50,000 to $75,000. So I'm going to say the bids will come in about $175,000. Because we're going to put in 2 boxes down below, and then 2 boxes going up the hill, and then the rest of it will just run the way it does now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's going to come in about $175,000, as long as the numbers are about the same.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, Dino Sicilione from Ridge County. Dominic, when you addressing the box on 924, when we showed you the video of how that water comes and then
Yeah,
down
there's 2 boxes on 924. I think they're going to eliminate that from the project.
Where's that water going to go? Because if it comes down Pole Road, then it's going to be into 2 boxes that are already getting water down the hill.
Yeah, I'm only doing what I'm being instructed to do.
Did we emphasize the importance of that? Because we showed you videos of how that water travels. It comes down 924, then it pools and it goes down
It
Pole
bypasses
Road.
the peds
So if you got 2 boxes at the bottom, catching water coming down that street, which we don't have both sides of that street piped, those boxes are full. We got all the water coming out 924. We showed videos of that.
Yeah. So here's the problem, right? And I hear exactly what you're saying. I agree with you because I've seen it before with my own eyes. The problem is that we were really banking on the $86,000 from the county that, and I don't think we're going to see that. So that is the problem with paving that part of Greenmount or Second Boulevard, because we were hoping that the drainage would be taken care of with that money. So now, to put put that amount of boxes in, it kind of stretches the budget pretty thin.
Yeah, if you surrender on that, though, I mean, how do you have access to that money again? I mean, is it, we have time in the calendar year regardless of what happens with that, so wouldn't it be wise to ride that horse and see if things turn? We have one particular commissioner that was here at a meeting that kind of, I think, in front of all of us, assured us this year would be our turn.
We asked,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Why don't we bring him here again?
Yeah, no municipality's got any county money yet this year, so it hasn't been announced countywide. It's not just these two.
You know, if we had a plan B to use that money, but we don't, so the road's not gonna get any worse.
So we're not taking public comment on this. He's a party to the decision, so
I just had valuable information about DCED.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Mary Penny. I just put a veteran, DCED is holding all federal contracts an extra 60 days before they release the money, so that would be the reason for,
it could be, but I think there's other reasons that are at play.
so.
But thank you for taking that. I agree, I think we should table it, in my opinion. I know you're frustrated, and you wanted to get the
I want to
project
get it done. I want to get it done, and I'm sick of the abuse that we didn't do Second Boulevard. They didn't do Second Boulevard. They forgot about Second Boulevard. Like I think we've talked about Second Boulevard for like a year straight.
Well, the complaints don't come from us.
Yeah. Oh, we know.
It's,
We know.
you just.
Like I want to
limit its
get
use.
the road done.
You limit its use going up. At least it's not speed, you know, it's like a speed trap.
I'm not doing the surveys again. I'm sorry. I did them. I can't. People scream, curse, get out of my yard, get out of my house. I can't do that.
I'll go.
It's
I'll do it.
like to ask these people to do it again. It's horrible.
I know.
You have to do it again.
I don't,
It wasn't fun.
And Jill, you were supposed to come and help us last year and you backed out. So it was me, Dominic, Kyle.
got to.
out of it.
Good for her.
Kyle, I volunteer part-time, I do it. If we're suitable to do that.
Absolutely. We'll
But
take
with an introductory letter expressing what's gone on in the past,
Yeah.
so that we can circulate that first, and then come in there on a calmer environment.
And when you look at the survey, it's not as detailed as one would think. So it's not as concerning as somebody would think about revealing their salary and things like that. It's broad, Dominic, am I correct?
It's
If I remember
broad,
this
yeah.
correctly.
And I'm working with them right now, and I'm asking them, could they just re-sign what was signed last year? That we don't have to ask any questions, is this your signature? Do you agree with what was said last year? Could you just please just sign it in blue ink? And that's what I'm trying to get them to concur with. And then Jessica can walk around with Dino.
If it works for the good of the county, we'll gladly do it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to get an answer later this week. I just got an email, so.
If the money wasn't released though, and it was, the surveys last year was for the money this year, why are they making us do it again? So is that for money for next year? Are they gonna come back and say, oh, well, that's for money for next year, now you're gonna have to wait until next year?
No, this is money for this year.
One day I know it's frustrating, hats off to
I
you.
know, I wanna get it done. It's like the only piece that's not done of the whole
Chill,
deal.
chill, deep breath,
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay.
I tell it the same.
It shouldn't be this difficult.
I know.
People shouldn't be mean.
Especially when you're trying to help. Is there action from the board? For a motion?
I'm willing to wait if you guys are, I mean,
Absolutely. We've come this far with it. I wouldn't want to see it be done and it being, inadequate.
Maybe we can put a little pressure on the county too, perhaps. Is there a
go to
motion?
their meeting.
10 o'clock.
I'll go.
So I'll ask the board for a motion to table the plan to rebid drainage and paving on Second Boulevard. Grant.
motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mumi, aye. Danchison,
Aye.
Kariba,
Aye.
motion carries. Number 14, I'll ask the board for a motion to waive subdivision land development requirements for the Pumpy Association Pavilion project.
Can you give a little background about that?
What does that mean?
Greg,
So-
Greg has some background.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain for the audience, just briefly?
Yeah, so that is the Borough of Shenandoah. They own some property over there, which we're referring to as the Pumpy. Essentially, they are looking to build a pole building. Pavilion. So I think there's going to be a little small enclosed space in there, but it's essentially a pavilion. It's a very simple structure. Any commercial structures built within the municipality, there is a land development ordinance, so this would fall under the requirements to go through the land development process. It's an expensive process for such a simple structure, and essentially the applicant has requested a waiver.
How big is the structure?
30 by 60. It's an LSA grant.
And the property is owned by another municipality.
What's going to be the intended use?
It's a community pavilion.
Will it be open to the public?
Yeah.
Is there any plumbing, sewage? I don't see a problem with that.
Well, my only question is, I mean, everybody here, every resident has to go through all the process and get permits and all. Why should they not have to pay, why do we all have to pay?
It's a legislative decision. I don't have a specific answer for that.
I will say they are still getting zoning and building permits. So they're still getting the construction permits, that can't be waived. The land development is basically a review of, how this is gonna affect the property and things like that. It's like a really intensive planning stage. So like typically like when you build a house or something like that, like a single family dwelling, that won't require land development because it's a more simple structure, but the ordinance requires any commercial buildings to go through land development. So that's,
I think it's a pretty straightforward project with
I mean, the Pumpy is great.
community intent.
It's great for people, it's entertainment, nothing against fishing, it's a fabulous thing. I just don't see why
We have a
they should get a
5,000
break,
square foot building
because
going
none of
up
us get a break.
down the road with no land development. That's okay.
That is true.
That was okay.
But there's a community purpose, Jill. I understand what you're saying, but there's a nonprofit community purpose plus it's other municipalities. To go through a land development process for such a straightforward building, like you said, the pavilion, it's
Well, how
not.
much would that cost them if we said no?
so essentially, land development, the land development process here, I believe is around $1,000 to come before the municipality. But that would require the applicant to get a pre-registered design professional to go through the whole project and do a survey of the land and whatnot. Then their PA registered design professional would submit all that to Dominic for review. Dominic would review it for the ordinance, go back and forth.
I didn't realize it was so.
So you're talking thousands of dollars.
I
It's
didn't
got to go
realize
before
that.
the planning commission. The planning commission would have to review, our engineer would have to review,
The county would have to comment.
the county would have to comment.
It would add minimally 30 days to probably 90 days to, before they can start their project.
Well, thank you for explaining it.
Maybe 6 months.
Maybe at least 90 days.
I'll ask the board for a motion to waive subdivision and land development requirements for the Pumpy Association Pavilion project.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mumi, aye. Danchison,
Aye.
Kariba,
Aye.
motion carries. Before we do number 15, I'm going to ask Gary Cardamone, who was a member of the police search committee, to segue into this motion. So, Gary, you have the floor, please.
Good evening, everyone. This round of applications is about 13 applications. The committee did extensive review, background checks, and one candidate stood out greatly above all the other candidates. The former trooper, rank lieutenant, interim chief in Hazleton, former police chief, he's here tonight, Joe Sparich. We recommend that the supervisors hire him as our new LIC, or officer.
Thank you, Gary. Any comments from the board? We interviewed Mr. Sparich, and I echo your comments, Gary. Very qualified candidate with lots of law enforcement experience, and I think will be good for the department to get us back on track in a positive direction. That said, I'll ask the board for a motion to hire Mr. Joseph Sparich as OIC of the police department at a salary of $100,000 per year, with terms and conditions agreed to by all parties.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. On the question, Mumi? Aye. Danchison? Kariva?
I think Mr. Asparagus, his resume, his interview is fabulous. I think he's going to be bored here. He's done so much as a veteran. I'm not going to vote. I'm going to abstain because nobody told me what the terms and conditions are.
She stayed a while. Okay. Motion carries. Mr. Sparich, welcome to the East Union Township.
Thank you very much. Hi, can I say something? Ray Trojan, Route 924. Can I say something?
Sure you can.
Nobody here, I don't believe, would want any part of their family to take a police officer's job for less money than that. Every day, they take their lives in their hand, pulling over people with a broken taillight, and they get shot. So that kind of money is good money for what we get. And I agree with you guys for hiring them. Thank you. We need a good police officer.
Thank you.
Thanks to the board member too for the selection committee.
Absolutely. They worked hard, Gary and Gary. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I'd like to thank the search committee. It was a pleasure meeting with the search committee and all the supervisors. I learned a lot about what the township needs, the problems they've had. I look forward to working with everybody, getting to know the community, and hearing about what you want from your police department. There's been problems in the past. We're going to move back past that, and I would look forward to working hard to earn your trust and respect. I don't expect to come in and just everyone immediately say, oh, he's great. I want to show that I can do a great job through my actions. And I look forward to talking with everybody, listening to hear about your problems and things I can do to help the community, and I hope we can work together. Thank you again.
Thank you. And lastly, I'll ask the board for a motion to advertise weight limits on a proposed road study. And I'll let Attorney Favreau explain that in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so I know Dominic did an extensive
Study's done, yeah.
study,
Road study.
and we got a copy of it. I read it, and you recommended a 5-ton weight limit on the roads that were studied and are identified in your report.
Correct.
And so we started a draft of the ordinance to implement that 5-ton weight limit on those roads. With everything, it's always an issue of enforcement, but nonetheless, the first step is to get the ordinance in place to protect those roads. So it'll be done before the July meeting, so that's why we're asking for this now.
And the 5-ton weight limit, I could refer to the new OIC. With a 5-ton weight limit, the officer in the township does not have to be certified in weights and measures because it's very easy to determine if a vehicle is over 5 tons. So it's not a passenger car or pickup truck, it's over 5 tons. Correct? Am I correct in stating that? Yeah.
Pretty much, sir.
Again, I don't know if he's certified in weights and measures, but anyway, any of the officers could do that. Okay.
So I'll ask the board for a motion to advertise the weight limit on proposed road study.
I'll make a motion.
Pardon me, sir, Tyler Rizal, Shannon, do we have a list of the roads?
Yeah, we're not taking public comment though, but yes, it'll be advertised.
Okay.
So the roads are primarily in Shepton, Market Street, Pine Street,
And,
Phoenix Road. I'll second it. On the question, Lumi, aye. Atchison,
Aye.
Kariva,
No.
motion carries. 2 announcements before we conclude. The fall cleanup will be held at the Township Building on Thursday, September 17th, and Friday, September 18th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., as well as Saturday, September 19th, from 8 to 12. And don't forget about the 250-year celebration of America. It's June 20th, from 3 p.m. to dusk, and then the fireworks will be after dusk. This is the joint celebration between East Union, North Union, and Black Creek Townships. The location is in North Union Township, 285 Zions Grove Road. With that, I'll ask the board for a motion to adjourn.
I have something to say now. I'm gonna pass these out. You guys saw them already. I asked that you take it, you can read it later. Just pass them down. I can share. I, Joe Kariba, would like to make a statement, just put it on record.
What's going on?
Before anybody interrupts me, I request the full attention and silence of the board, and everybody here till I'm done. During the monthly township meeting on December 1st of 2025, I stated that I was no longer going to go to executive session due to feeling threatened and harassed by the other board members. I felt strongly about this and I sought advice from PSATS, Pennsylvania Association of Township Supervisors, due to my stress. In the months prior to that December meeting, I was accused of breaking into the office, listening to and deleting messages, stealing township road materials, harassment, and bullying by Kyle and Wendy, both during open meetings and during executive sessions. All the members of the board denied my allegations and no further action was taken. During the February 9th meeting, Kyle claimed that PSATS had provided him with a written opinion that I should be not included in executive session because I was a liability to the township. I requested a copy of that written opinion, and Kyle said he would gladly show it to me, but I have never seen it. So the following day, I reached out to PSATS, and I contacted Scott Coburn, which is the education director and council, and I asked him, did PSATS ever provide such an advice to Kyle about me? And he confirmed, and he called all of his fellow advisors, that no such email was ever provided to Kyle. A right to know request was submitted to the township through the written correspondence. Mike provided a highly redacted version of the email between Kyle and Coburn. That was on August 6th. An appeal was filed with the PA Office of Open Records, and an unredacted email was finally provided. Kyle, I want an apology. And Mr. Karpovich's office, I can't believe that they're allowing this behavior to happen under your watch. According to the second-class township code, Article 11, Section 1102, solicitors have control of legal matters. The township solicitor shall direct and control the legal matters of the township. And Kyle, not only did you lie to me, embarrass me, undermine my authority, you also lied to the residents of the township. I will not entertain any questions or accusations, insults, or harassment, threaten, intimidate from anyone here at the meeting. And Mr. Karpovich's office, you were hired for this board. That means all of us, not just the supervisors you choose to work for. I am publicly making you aware of what is occurring and asking you to advise the board on this behavior moving forward. And Kyle Mooney, I am calling for your immediate resignation. One.
So I'm going to respond to that, Joan. So you've never been harassed or disrespected, and no. This is my turn to respond to your allegations. I never lied. I asked for legal advice because you have consistently taken litigation matters outside of that room and leaked it to members of the public.
And where is your proof on
Consistently,
that?
you have done that. Okay?
I don't have the key to the secretary's office. How
Jill.
did I break in?
Jill.
I don't have the PIN numbers to get in an email or to listen to the message.
Yes or no? Are there millings from township projects on your property? Yes or no?
I'm not talking about that.
Yes or no?
I'm not talking
Are there?
about
You said there's not.
Yes, there are. And they were asked me if they could dump them there, and I approved it.
That's not the story that we got.
Now, the story is, and then you send a cop to investigate, and you couldn't prove anything, because they said they asked me to dump them.
So in December, you had stated that you voluntarily removed yourself from executive sessions, but then you said it wasn't until February that I got the legal opinion from DSAT saying that you shouldn't be in executive sessions. So you voluntarily removed yourself well before I even sought advice from PSATs about your unethical behavior and leaking privileged information from
Kyle, you
township
can spin
executive
this
sessions.
story. You can spin it
Jill,
any
you just
way.
said it. You just said it.
You can
You
spin
said
it
it in
any
front
way
of a crowd
you
of
want
people.
to.
You said in
Go ahead.
December you voluntarily stopped going into
Yeah,
executive
because
session.
I couldn't take it
And when
anymore.
was the email sent to PSATs?
August 6th. It's on the right to know.
Everybody read, that's the proof. I wrote, give everybody the papers.
You have a duty and obligation to this township to protect it and to
And
not
so
leak
do you,
information.
Kyle.
And to
And
not
so
leak
do you.
information to the public that
I-
involves litigation and township matters and personal matters.
You sound like Biden. You're always coming up and confusing things that there's no proof.
This is unprofessional.
Oh, listen to you.
You made some serious allegations, Joan.
Great.
You're
Because
gonna
I'm
have to answer for them.
fabulous, because it's the truth. I'm not afraid to talk about the
Before we
truth.
adjourn, so when we have executive session and everyone knows that there's been a lot going on behind the scenes here at the township, unfortunately, we had a lot of things with our police department. And you know that I read a personal statement months ago that said that Jill was continually going outside of executive session.
She has the floor, please.
That she was continually going out of executive session and leaking information because it would get onto social media. So how else was it getting there? How else were people finding out about personal things that we were discussing and having issues with our police department? I asked her so many times personally in executive session to stop doing it. That's when we went to our solicitor and said, what do? He recommended to us to contact PSAT. And he said, if you guys contact PSAT, they deal with so many different municipalities in Pennsylvania, maybe they have dealt with this situation before. So I emailed the same guy, Scott, he's an attorney for PSAT, and he said to us that there's nothing in the law yet that you can make one of your supervisors stop coming into executive session. However, there are townships out there that do exclude supervisors from that because they can be held liable.
Surcharge action.
Right, they can get a surcharge action from it. So we told Jill that, and we still didn't leave her out of executive. We told her that we contacted PSATs. We told her that she has to stop leaking the information. We still included her from August all the way up until December when she decided to exclude herself to spin your own narrative. That's the truth. That's what happened. And now people aren't asking the question. People aren't asking the question, why did Kyle reach out to PSATs, that there's a supervisor leaking information. I think that's the more important question here.
Where is the proof that she leaked information? Where is the proof that she leaked information? You're just making that up.
Because
to
there's
cover
only
your ass.
4 people that are in
There's 4
executive
people in
session.
executive session, and 3 didn't say anything.
Yes.
So you picked the person who did.
You tell your husband or anything?
Come on, Jill.
I find it not.
I don't think it's your husband that's leaking the information on social media.
Well, I'm talking, I'm saying the truth. So,
Are you?
yes, I am, Kyle.
I got a
Well,
question.
I'll ask them, I'll ask,
Before we go,
we're not having public comment. What's the
on
question?
this, how could, I was at the one township meeting, and I didn't know it was being recorded by Joe. Amy wasn't at the meeting.
I don't have a tape recorder, I don't know what you're
Excuse
saying.
me, I recognize Bob, he has the floor, please.
This thing was 2 months ago. That thing was up, that page was up on that goofy Facebook thing.
Instantly, Bob.
Right. And I read it. How,
So how does that happen?
what, she recorded it.
And it
How
got,
do you get up, how, I don't understand how it got up.
Because I asked her to record it. It's my recording.
so, I mean, there's your answer.
Exactly.
Against, people who can't
Well,
serve
what's
their
public
own.
knowledge, Bob? Anybody can record.
I understand it's public
Anybody can
knowledge,
walk.
but how in the hell, you recorded it just like that, she got it, and it was on.
I asked her for that same recording, believe it or not.
Because
I
it
don't
was
have
edited.
I don't have a tape
Because it
recorder.
was edited.
Well, how did it get on social
Okay,
media?
we're
Because you
getting-
recorded it,
we're getting
and you
over the
wouldn't
thing.
provide it.
You said PSAT said I should,
I read the
not
email
be
at
in
the last
thing.
meeting. I read the
It
email.
wasn't the exact email that was sent. to
Jill,
you.
his words maybe weren't exact, but it was the gist
Yeah, they
of
weren't-
the
they-
email.
they
It was the
weren't
gist of the email.
I would suggest that you don't leak information from the township into the public, if you're doing that.
Oh, you're not even worth, I don't, who do I tell?
I'll ask the board for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.